critically addressed. I personally, and I believe almost all of you, are sick and tired of a COSAS that is completely dysfunctional, of a COSAS that is used for personal reasons and not for organizational reasons. We are here to destroy that. We are here to destroy that notion. Never ever again after this conference, comrades, are we ever going to have people who are going to use this organization for their own personal benefits. That thing comes to an end from today until tomorrow, until the rest of the existence of this organization. That thing comes to an end. So we have to be able to achieve that, and it's a policy question again that we are going to answer here. I don't want to deliver a political report. Therefore, let me say, comrades, that in those particular remarks, I declare this conference opened. Now, I will want to assume that all of you, comrades, have registers in front of you, have programs in front of you. Okay, noted. You have programs in front of you. Now, what I'm going to do, before I even read that program, I'll note that comrade to address us. I don't know whether there are mics moving around so that the comrade can be heard by everyone. But I'll give you, look, leadership, I'll give you to speak when there's a mic so that everyone can hear you. Are you okay? I can't hear you. That's why I'm saying let's wait for the mic. Okay, let's just wait for the mic.
I discipline. Comrades, I go by the name of Omnegesi, the PCPT team member of COSAS in Gauteng. The reason I'm raising an order is one, chairperson of the session. Why don't you have the collective of the NCPT there? All of them, we cannot see
No, thank you very much. NCPT members have been given tasks to do at this conference. Those who are here may come up to the stage. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. They may come up to the stage, but there are many that we have given tasks because we are running this conference with them. I'm going to give to the convener so that he welcomes the SG as he walks in. I hope you are clarified. You are not? Well, that's fine. That's fine. They've been given tasks. We are proceeding. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leadership. I want to welcome Comrade SG of the ANC, comrades. I'm told is coming with a revolutionary song. Anyone who can start a revolutionary song here so that we can show the SG that which COSAS are we here. Amandla. Ngawethu. Matla. Arona. Matla. Arona. Power to the people. Comrades, thank you so much for that warm welcome of our SG, of the mother body, the African National Congress, the mother body of the leagues, Women's League, ANC Youth League, and Veterans League as well. I would want the SG to just greet the conference and show that is really here to support the victory of COSAS in this particular conference. SG, would you please greet us there?
Amanda, each one, forward with COSAS, forward. My Fugi, COSAS, my Fugi. Pata, Mafundi, Pata. Family, COSAS, family. Amanda.
Thank you very much, SG. Thank you very much. Now, comrades, I will just present this agenda for adoption by the session. I will present it to comrades as it is, so that comrades can be able to know where we are. On day one, comrades, which I would assume was yesterday, it was first registrations which are completed. You will see that it's written NCPT meeting, which is also something that is completed. We were supposed to hold also a prayer. We are going to have that today because the conference wouldn't have commenced yesterday. So we are going to begin with the prayer today. We are going to do a welcoming of delegates and guests by the Free State Provincial Convener in respect to the fact that we are convening in his province. I hope the leadership is present, or anyone else who can represent him if he's absent. The adoption of Congress program and rules, which will be done for us by the national organizer, Comrade Brilliant Mnina, who is not in front here with us now, but I guess we'll be able to find him as time goes on. There will then be opening remarks, which I think I've already done, which is by myself. Then there will be messages of support by the ANC Youth League, SASCO, SATU Student Chapter, the YCLSA, COSATU Young Workers. Now, those comrades will deliver their messages of support as they come in, comrades, or as we proceed with the national conference. Now, we would observe that day one will be a mixture of, day two will be a mixture of day one and day two. So some of the things that are happening in day one will happen here in day two, and the things that are happening in day two will also happen today. So we are going to have an opening address by the NCSG, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, an address by SATU, which has not yet joined us yet. SATU, the General Secretary of SATU, Comrade Mugwena Maluleke. And then we are going to have a presentation of credentials by the Deputy National Coordinator, Comrade John Mhlaula. And then we are going to have a discussion of the credentials. We are going to then have an adoption of the credentials. We'll have a political report as item number 13. We'll have an address on the state of the basic of the Department of Basic Education by the Department Deputy Minister, Comrade Regina Mhaule. Comrade Regina Mhaule, and then there will be then a discussion of the political report. Note that it will be presented, then there will be an address by the Deputy Minister or Minister. That the discussion of the political report, the adoption of the political report, then we're going to have an organizational report by the National Coordinator, which is Comrade Carlo Mahladis. And then there's going to be a discussion of the organizational report. Item number 19, an adoption of the organizational report, presentation of discussion documents by NCPT member Comrade Tabiso Mabaso, dissolution of the NCPT by the Election Committee and IEC, presentation of nomination and election procedures, nomination and election of officials and NEC members. Then, comrades, we are going to go to commissions. Now, these that I've read now will all take place today, comrades. So we have a very long day ahead of us. Item number 25, which will take place tomorrow, is the announcement of the results of officials and NEC members, report back from commissions, presentation of Congress declaration by the newly elected Secretary-General. We are then going to have closing remarks by the newly elected President-General. We are then going to have a closing address by the ANC. We have not yet confirmed the actual person to do that for us now, but we'll confirm, comrades, in due course. Now, comrades, this is the proposed program as it comes. I will just give to the floor just a few hands that will arise to either support the program as it is, engage it, or make any adjustments if there be a need for such. So I will give comrades a hand that can be raised on the floor so that we can proceed with the agenda as is read and presented to the Congress. Noted, leadership. Noted. I don't know, can one NCPTT member assist us with the, okay. So the mics are. I think the first person was that kid, was it? Okay, let's start there. Then you're going to come second, leadership. Hope you noted yourself. And then any other end comrade so that you can proceed. Number third there. We'll come there, leadership. You can proceed.
Amanda, Comrade National Convener, my name is Comrade John Mangaung from Gauteng, the BCPTT member. I support the program as it is, so I adopt it.
Okay. There's a leader there. Yes, there is. Leadership. I think there should be two people to assist with this thing. Can you stand in this way?
My voice is loud, I can be heard by anyone. Thanks for accommodation of what's so called a receipt or whatever. Sanibona Ningani, Kamara Mogara Mutswai, I'm the Regional Conference Preparatory Tax Team member in Greater Johannesburg. I support the agenda.
Okay. There's also a hand there. Stand right there. It's a comrade there who's wearing a black jacket.
Amanda, my name is Yonela Natsitsela, the RCPTT Deputy Convener in the Nelson Mandela Bay region from the Eastern Cape. I support the agenda of the meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, comrades. There were no more, and the hands that were being raised here are hands that support this agenda as is read. So I want to, with the permission of the Congress, to proceed with the next item of our agenda. Because the engagement of this agenda, for example, is not part of the agenda itself. So then let's proceed, comrades. If then the hands that are being raised are to support what is being presented here today. I will want us to begin with a prayer, comrades. I think this is a very important prerequisite to beginning such an important event. The ANC believes in a prayer too much. I know if it was their conference, we would be having a bishop now who comes from a certain church who was going to pray for us, but it is quite unfortunate that we are not blessed with such today. But that doesn't take away the importance of a prayer. So I would just want to request from everyone here, if ever you can make yourself available to have a prayer, to in fact lead us in prayer, you can, or if there's no one, I can do it myself. Okay. Wait, Comrade Killer, where is he? Can you please pass the mic to that person? Thank you very much, Comrade. We are then going to move to item number 4, welcoming of delegates and guests by the Free State Provincial Convener. Where is the comrade? If not, the Free State, do they have anyone to come here to us? Yes, that Free State delegate. The person who's leading those delegates must come. Remarks.
Martha! Hi, Morad! Thank you very much, Comrade Convener. I remain Comrade Fikile, the PCPTT member of the Free State Province. On behalf of the entire PCPTT, we would like to welcome all delegates from all provinces.
Elias, can you come in front?
Right.
Yes, can just come in because everyone can see you. And then you don't think that what we want you to do there is just a short and summarized type of a thing. We want you to welcome them and want them to feel free in their own in your province. We want you to assure them that they are here and they are free and they are fine.
Comrades, like I said, I remain Comrade Fikile, a member of the PCPTT of this province. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of the SEC, which is the Free State Province. I wish that in this conference we elect leaders who deserve to be elected, not those who are enforced to us. this is a disgrace to the African National Congress that as the hosting province, we have been asking for lifts from other provinces. But it's nice that Comrade Now, comrades, without any waste of time, I would just like to conclude like I started by saying you are welcome in the center of the South Africa. Enjoy, feel at home. You have seen there's never been any police here, just the security that is employed by the ANC to guard us in our own conference, but it's fine. Manda!
Thank you very much, leadership. Now, I think I made a mistake somewhere here in my commencement. I made a mistake here because I did not recognize the important comrades that are amongst ourselves to support us. I think it's important to acknowledge support when support is right in your midst. Comrades, we have in our midst now currently Keita Dibolelo Mane, the ANC Deputy Provincial Secretary. Can you stand up, leadership? There she is, comrade.
We also have comrades, the regional chair of the ANC, Comrade Lawrence Matai. Thank you so much, leadership. Important comrades, we also have comrade, we also have the national convener of the South Student Chapter. Can you reach out?
Unite, COSAS, unite.
We also have ourselves comrades, a convocant, leadership of the former Secretary-General of the organization of the students, which is the Congress of South African Students Congress. Can you reach out? We are blessed as well, comrades, with the presence of the former chief of COSAS and the current ANC member of the ANC Youth League, comrades that is right next to me here. Would you please give us that? One laptop, one cell phone. Amanda, Viva, COSAS, Viva. Important comrades as well were joined by the former president, Comrade Wesley of COSAS, who's in our midst as well. Would you please greet us, leadership?
One student, one laptop, one student, one laptop. I saw business
leaders here who were tasked to assist us in our problems as COSAS, who I would blame the sitting of this Congress to, as well, in collaboration as well with his other counterparts. Comrade Donald Salamulela, who is the NEC member of the ANC. Thank you very much, Bishop. Yes, now I corrected my mistakes. Now we're going to welcome the organizer to assist us with the adoption of the Congress program and rules of the conference. Believe that she will then read them out, and comrades will be able to adopt them as they come. Let's welcome Comrade Brilliant Mnina, our national officer.
I believe that convener is still sorting something out. There are documents that were supposed to be printed out, especially a page that tells the rules of the House. Can we please just have a few minutes? Let's continue comments to just bring a resolution and so on.
We are going to take this initiative, comrades. I've already done the opening remarks to open this conference. I would believe that that one is going to finish. So we're going to allow the organizer some time to fix the issues there in the office, and then meanwhile we're doing that, we're going to request the following organizations to come and present their messages of support. So firstly, we're going to have a message of support from the comrade who is currently in our midst, the comrade of the ANC Youth League, comrade second SG. Okay, I'm being told that the SG is on his way. The SG is here. When he comes, he will assist us. Let's not wait for that, comrades. Then let's proceed to the SATU student chapter to give their message of support. Then we're going to welcome the YCL, the ANC Youth League, YCL, SASCO, and COSAS Young Workers.
Unite, ANC Youth League, unite! Unite, YCL, unite! Unite, SATU student chapter, unite! Thank you, Chairperson or Program Director. I cannot greet everyone because in terms of the names, I arrived very late. But I can see the SG of the ANC, Comrade Max, with the delegation, you are all greeted. Comrades of the ANC Youth League, you are greeted. SASCO, you are greeted. Comrades of Young Communist League of South Africa, you are also greeted. Allow me to greet the leadership of COSAS, and let me thank them for taking this initiative up until this far. I know you have tried several times to have your own Congress, but there were hiccups. We understand. I'm not used in apologizing before I start my address or the message of support. Let me apologize, comrades, because I will leave early. I have a flight to catch at 6 o'clock. We are also having our own Congress as SAT. You all know that. Now, my understanding, a message of solidarity is a matter of 1 second or 2 seconds. Yeah? Am I correct? A message of support is a matter of 1 minute or 2 minutes. Yeah? Am I correct? I want us, while delivering the message of support, I want us to reflect a bit in the issues that you are facing as COSAS. Those issues, they go beyond your scope of operation as COSAS, even in higher institutions of learning. Number one is the issue of technology, comrades of COSAS. We cannot deny that technology helps us to see and view things that were not imaginable, but now we can imagine them. But at the same time, we cannot deny that technology also destroys us. Since I have arrived here, few of you have kept your cell phones in the backpack. Most of your cell phones were on top of the table. While the speaker is on the podium, but some of you were busy streaming something. Some were tweeting. Some were Facebooking on WhatsApp and so forth. The issue of technology. We embrace the fourth industrial revolution. However, it's our responsibility as COSAS to make sure that technology does not hinder our people, our comrades, into e-progress. You know how. Number one, I can assure you The physical interactions are destroyed by technology. Some of you are texting each other while you are seated together at the table. Why is that? You are destroying your own social interaction. Some of the issues, some of the things, they need not to be conveyed through social media, but you need to deal them face to face. As we are embracing the fourth industrial revolution, dear comrades, we are saying, you as COSAS, at some point, with your own schools, you should take part in the mass technological literacy initiatives as part of social justice. Why are you doing that? You need to educate people the impact of e-technology. There are advantages, there are disadvantages. How can we turn the disadvantages into our favor? How can we turn the disadvantages into advantages? Because we need to benefit through this technology for the industrial revolution. Now, a brief reminder. Your responsibility, comrades, is to serve as a neuron in your primary schools, your high schools, wherever you are. You are organizing for the ANC Youth League, you are organizing for SASCO, you are organizing for YCN, you are also organizing for us, the South Student Chapter. So we want to urge you, comrades of COSAS, you need to oil the machinery. We cannot afford to have these young people in higher institutions joining this filthy organization. We cannot afford to have our young people joining these 9 ideological organizations, whereas we are here. It's your responsibility to emancipate them, give them a consciousness through ideology. We cannot have the ANC which is crippled while you are here. As a responsible citizen, your first responsibility there, wherever you are organizing, make sure everyone is registered to vote. Those who qualify are eligible to do so. We are having challenges now because we did not play our roles at our respective places. It's unfair to the revolution. When you stand up, when you raise your hand and say, I'm available, you need to be available through thick and thin. Don't be available only if you are going that side and is it a small street, leadership? When we are going to small street and enjoy ourselves. But be available everywhere. Now, comrades, through your machinery, through your education of consciousness, through your education of ideology, you will make sure that young people, they grasp ideology, they understand the term Progressive Youth Alliance, they understand what is it to be a member of the ANC, they understand what is it to be a member of ANC Youth League, they understand what is it to be a member of the YCN and SASCO in the institution of learning. It will be a shame to see some of the comrades here, when they joining higher institutions, they will be joining the other organizations. And I normally refer to them as stock fares, because the only mass democratic movements organizations we know are the ones that you're joining now, are the ones that you are in now. You cannot therefore be deceived by any liberals. I'm about to sit down slowly. I'm not sure whether you will have your commissions or what. But at some point we need to enter into a debate, a serious debate, school safety issues. In our schools we are facing so many challenges. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can wake up and say, Norman, I need 2 cell phones, let me take a gun and go to the school and rob these educators and learners. It's unfair. We understand it's a responsibility of the department, but it's not a solo responsibility. We have a responsibility as well as SAT to protect our members. You have your responsibility as well as COSAS to protect your members. Now let us work together and deal with this issue of safety and security in our schools. It cannot, therefore, a school can be a playing ground for Scoten and Amapara. It can't be. It's incorrect. While you are here, while I'm here. But it's not only our responsibility, including the community itself. Any relevant stakeholder around the school, it's their responsibility to protect everyone who's within the school. As the Secretary Student Chapter, comrades, allow us to wish you the best of your final examination, which are scheduled to start in October. At the same time, we want to wish you, comrades of COSAS, a progressive Congress who shall yield the desired outcomes. We are then saying to you, as a takeaway, let anarchy, let chaos be your enemy in your lifetime. A leader needs not to be described by how she or he is rebellious. Anarchy does not define a leader. Anarchy does not define a good leader. You will never grow in leadership if you believe that anarchy is the only solution to our problems that we are facing as the country. You'll never help the mass democratic movement if you have that tendency of anarchy and of being the rebel. So we are saying we must refuse to produce anarchists. But our responsibility is to produce an ideologically inclined comrade or a leader. Our responsibility is to make sure we produce a leader who reads every day. You cannot lead people using common sense. You can't have a tool of analysis called a common sense and leading people. It's not correct. Read, comrades. Again, the issue of factionalism. Here you can discuss the issue of leadership and you will be done. There is no need for you to use your tables and fight. There is no need for you to throw a margin on each other. There is no need. We are still young. We cannot allow the old people to come dictate our terms. Now, we cannot allow the old people to dictate our terms. At the same time, it's their responsibility to guide whenever you start to be a rebel. Your responsibility as different provinces is to sit down, discuss the issue of leadership, come up with one view, reach consensus. It is also correct, it's democratical to go and vote. It's your democratical right. However, as young people, we need to avoid that by all means. Let's use our skills of interaction. That's where we are taking these items and tools of technology aside and deal with our issues physically. I'm not saying know each other. I'm saying social and interactions. Are we together? Now, comrades of COSAS, let peace be upon you. We wish you luck as South Student Chapter. We wish you a progressive Congress. I want to believe we'll go out here with one voice. Any leader that will emerge here will be your leader, whether you like him or her, but will remain your leader. So you need to be responsible, you need to be principled, you need to remain a comrade. Because one day we'll have to define what does the name or term comrade means. A comrade goes beyond what you know and what you see. Respect. All the best, comrades of COSAS. Unite, COSAS, unite. Mandla. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Minister of Central Student Chapter. That was a mouthful, comrade. Thank you so much for such words of support. I want us, comrades, to welcome the Vice NSA National Secretary. Is also in our midst, the SAS leadership, but we welcome him after. We have something to say. Can you please respect us, leadership? Secretary-General of the South African Student Congress, Comrade Asif, and please greet us, Ashley.
Amandla, H1.
The ANC Youth League decided that it can't do enough by just sending us the DSG. It's definitely to send the SG as well. Let's give a warm welcome, comrades, to the ANC Youth League National Secretary-General, Comrade Fikile Mbalula.
Manja, away 2, each one, teach one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, comrades. We are still going to proceed, comrades, with these messages of support. We are going to welcome now, as he just arrived, he has to also stand up and come and address us. We are requesting the Secretary-General, Deputy Secretary-General of SASCO to address us and give a message of support. But let me just put this as a rule. I'm reminded by the latter speaker that message of support, I have 2 seconds, 1 minute stay. So can we be able to consume at least, in fact, at most 3 minutes for our messages of support so that we're able to quicken the process. I will just visit there, having an eye on the leaders who are going to be giving messages of support. Thank you.
Amandla, away 2, Amandla, viva Sasco, viva! Viva Sasco, viva! Viva COSAS, viva! Viva the ANC Youth League, viva! Jigijela ufasimba jigijela, uzoyithola kanjani, uhlele konini, ungayi esikolweni, uzoyithola kanjani, Amandla. Comrades, I will not be long. Let me start by greeting the leadership of the African National Congress that is here led by the Comrade Secretary-General, the leadership of the ANC in the province. Let me greet also the leadership of the ANC Youth League, led by Comrade SG and other NEC members. Let me greet the leadership of COSAS, led by the convener. Let me greet also our sister organization, the Young Communist League of South Africa, led by the NS. You are greeted, comrades. We will not be long, and all other distinguished guests. Comrades, I think we must firstly take this time to congratulate you for reaching this particular milestone. You must also be proud of yourselves. The reality is that the absence of the COSAS and the instability thereof has been felt, but most importantly, it has not been felt just by you or the leaders, but it has been felt by learners across the length and breadth of South Africa who have not been organized for the longest of times. So, comrades, we must congratulate you for sitting this Congress, and we hope that you will also use this as a pilgrimage of some sort to reflect on the need of the existence of COSAS in our schools. You will reflect on why COSAS exists, particularly as it pertains to mobilizing learners behind the black and white banner, and to champion the interests of learners across the length and breadth of South Africa. You also have a responsibility, comrades, to mobilize these young people behind the banner of the MDM led by the African National Congress to ensure that we can be able to advance the NDR. In its core, comrades, the NDR is that the learners whom you represent must find expression in the land in which they are born. And we know the reality when we look at the unemployment, when we look at all these things, they tell us that the child of the black family does not find expression in the socio-economic setup and structure of South Africa. So, comrades, that is something that you must deal with as learners. You must look into the issue of the curriculum. The curriculum that you are being taught, to the extent to which does it prepare you to participate in the socio-economic needs of the country? Does it prepare you to address, to deal with the issues which you are facing at home? Does it prepare you to deal with issues of gender-based violence? Does it prepare you that when you get into university, you can enroll in programs that are going to be able to allow you to participate in the market, but also to change South Africa from what it is? So these are the conversations you must begin to have. You are aware that the higher education itself has challenges. This is not the platform but we are hoping that if you are able to organize yourself and champion your struggles, that by the time you graduate to higher education, you will also be able to join the rank and file of SASCO and ensure that we carry on to advance the revolution from that end. One of the key issues that we're advancing currently in the sector is to ensure that the curriculum of higher education is also able to respond to the needs of South Africa. The government of the ANC is spending over 140 billion rand on higher education alone, but we are not able to control the output. You must celebrate, for instance, the Bella Bill, comrades, and you must also teach other learners about the importance of defending the Bella Bill, because more than anything, it is to ensure that as a government, we are able to guide basic education to the direction which will ensure that it will benefit all South Africans, not a minority. So you must defend the Bella Bill. This is what we hope to see in higher education, the day we have strong leadership SG, to ensure that we also don't have a sector where our government is just a godfather or godmother. Our ministers, they do not have actual power to steer that 140 billion rand to the benefit of the black majority. So you have the Bella Bill, we have nothing but SG is going to help us and the ANC broadly. So comrades, thank you very much. We will ensure that we strengthen NSFAS so that when you graduate, NSFAS is at a stage where it can receive you, it can fund you. That is your legacy, comrades. We are committed to doing that. Do not believe TikTok when they say NSFAS has failed. NSFAS, comrades, has funded over 5 million children. That is over 5 million families that have been brought out of poverty through the government of the ANC. You have that responsibility. It is currently funding over 1 million students. You must defend it, because the ANC and our government have become unpopular with young people because of mistruth, because of the absence of the PYA in terms of engaging and relating with young people to teach them the cause. So they must not lie to you. It is not possible for you not to get NSFAS. In fact, 90% of households through this government now qualify, meaning 9 out of 10 households, except for those that are rich, they qualify to be funded by the state without having to pay a cent. This is the legacy that you must protect, and this is why COSAS becomes important. So thank you very much, comrades. Let your Congress be a successful one, and we must also congratulate the task team that has brought us here. Amandla. Awe to
Mangaung. Thank you very much, Rashid. I don't know. I feel like the PYA is suddenly producing content nowadays. Comrades, when they come speak here, I feel like I'm learning a lot of other very new things. But we say, Viva PYA, Viva! Viva PYA, Viva! Now, comrades, without any further ado, I'll give over to the Vice ANC National Secretary, only to engage us for 3 minutes. You can come, Rashid, to engage us here with your message of support for this very important conference.
Long live the Congress of South African Students, long live. Long live the South African Student Congress, long live. Long live the African National Congress Youth League, long live. Chikitela, Ufasemba, Chikitela. Long live the Revolutionary Alliance, long live. Long live the Revolutionary Alliance, long live. Socialism is the future. Build it now. Each one. Teach one. Thank you so much, Comrade Program Director, the convener, to greet the leadership of the ANC as led by the Secretary-General, and also to appreciate provincial leaders of the ANC in our midst, to greet the leadership of the Progressive Youth Alliance, SASCO, SATU, Student Chapter, the African National Congress Youth League, and most importantly, Comrades delegates. We bring revolutionary greetings from the rank and file of the membership of the Young Communist League of South Africa. And as we do so, we wish you a successful Congress. We want to congratulate you for having came to this moment where the organization is able to reflect about itself in this platform befitting for its own life. So we want to say COSAS does not make a mistake to convene here in Bloemfontein for this particular National Congress, because this year is a year on which the student movement is turning a centenary, and which student movement COSAS was formed here in 1924 in Bloemfontein. So it is indeed not a coincidence, because Marx did say that history always repeats itself. First as a tragedy and second as a farce. So we do notice the importance of this particular gathering also in the historical context. So we congratulate you because as the Progressive Youth Alliance, without the Congress of South African Students, we are weaker. We have advanced an opinion and a position as a Young Communist League of South Africa that indeed the youth movement has a duty to champion youth interest as it rallies them behind the banner. But we are unable to rally them behind the banner if we are unable to champion their own interest. So with you as COSAS, an important component of the Progressive Youth Alliance, resuscitating yourself out of this particular National Congress, we are extremely proud. We do say so, noticing that it is important that the Progressive Youth Alliance is strengthened such that its fighting capacity is improved, and so that it is able to deal with a number of issues which are in the education sector for its transformation. For instance, the questions relevant to Bella Bill that brings transformation in the sector, and many other issues. COSAS has said at some point, and we want to support COSAS in this call, that if the prisoners or inmates continue to get breakfast, and why not should learners get a breakfast at school in the same way? So we want to see COSAS that is able to raise those issues. We want to hear COSAS that is able to say why is it that coitus is a choice, but condoms are all over, but sanitary towels are nowhere to be found. It must be COSAS that says we know how much time that is lost if a girl child goes to periods and unable to attend school. So that is the COSAS which we were talking about. The COSAS which we will have to then play its role also in the broader mass democratic movement, but importantly, We are also proud of the role that SAPI has been playing in ensuring that it nurtures COSAS and is able to support COSAS in the sector. So that is important for us to build what is called a student worker alliance, because our challenges are similar with those of the workers because of a bourgeois, what is called a bourgeois social reproduction. So it is COSAS that must go back to the debates where you were saying you were using Marxism and Leninism as tools of analysis, which are tools that are important to analyze society going forward. We want a COSAS that will be able to raise a debate about the history. COSAS has said history must be compulsory in schools. Where is that debate by now? And we want to, comrades, wish you a successful Congress without taking much of your time. Amanta, away through. Long live Congress of South African Students, long live. Kena COSAS, Kena. Amanta.
Thank you very much, comrade of the YSLSA. I will now, comrades, welcome, want to believe the last speaker of messages of support, because the COSATU Young Workers is not yet missed. So I will do that. I will welcome now the ANC Youth League to give us a message of support to address this particular conference, and maybe to also advise us as to where should we go. I think I should have mentioned this as part of the giving of this message of support. We need advice, comrades. We need advice. So let's welcome the ANC Youth League Secretary-General, Comrade Fikile, to address us.
Mandla, Gawethu, long live COSAS, long live each one. Eta COSAS, eta COSAS, eta free education in our lifetime. Free education. Long live SASCO, long live. Long live SASCO, long live. Socialism in our lifetime. Socialism. Jikijela Fasimba, Jikijela. Jikijela Fasimba, Jikijela. Economic freedom. Economic freedom. Economic freedom. Economic freedom. In our lifetime. In our lifetime. Long live the ANC Youth League, long live. Long live the ANC Youth League, long live. Long live the ANC Youth League, long live. Manda. Away two. Long live the ANC COSATU, long live. Long live the ANC COSATU, Communist Party, long live. Manda. Away two.
Thank you very much, comrades. As introduced, my name is Mtuwoko. I am the Secretary-General of the ANC Youth League. I am sent by the ANC Youth League to speak in this very important Congress of South African Students. The irony is that you are a Congress of South African Students, not a Congress of South African learners. It's a very important aspect you must consider. Comrades, thank you very much for having the ANC Youth League in this very important 20th National Congress of COSAS. Greetings to the Secretary-General of the ANC, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, second DSG of the ANC Youth League, Comrade Olga Sieta, the National Secretary of the Young Communist League of South Africa, SADC Student Chapter, the COSAS leadership, and most importantly, delegates of this very important 20th National Congress of COSAS. Comrades and friends, greetings to all of you. Comrades, I was very, very reluctant to speak into this 20th National Congress of COSAS for two reasons. One is that I was reluctant because the ANC Youth League, in its own 26th National Congress, took very bold decisions. Comrade Fikile, the provincial leadership of the ANC in the Free State province. Those bold decisions, we know we may not sustain them during our term and finish those particular decisions. We know that those decisions are depending on you, the members and leaders of COSAS today. Because at some point, we're at your age and members of the Congress of South African Students. Issues that were raised by the Youth League leadership when we're at your age, issues that were raised by the ANC when we're at your age, have not been resolved in South Africa 30 years on. Comrades, it may well be known by yourselves, we have chosen a life of being activists in your schools, in your communities at a very young age. That this decision you have taken will be criticized firstly by your parents. That once you join politics, you may not be an achiever when you join politics. That when you join politics, you may be suppressed because you are choosing a cause for the liberation of your community and your people. We want to say, comrades, in this 20th National Congress of COSAS, as the ANC Youth League, because of the decisions we have taken in our 26th National Congress, that we want to tell you, as young activists who are now learners, you are going to undergo a process of being learners, students, and being youth activists. Because when you are a learner, you are also, when you are at the age 14, eligible to join the ANC Youth League. When you transcend that particular period, you will be eligible to join SASCO. You will be eligible also to join the Young Communist League of South Africa. The point I want you in this Congress to go home with, and for the rest of your lives as activists, particularly that I see the majority of these learners in this particular hall, that you are learners coming from black and working class communities, from black, poor and working class communities. You must know this, and this is what you must fight for. Your country has 80% of its productive land in the hands of the few South Africans who are white in the main. your country. Your country has more than 80% of its economy owned, controlled, managed, and run by few South Africans who are white in the main. I want you, comrades, when you are young learners and activists of our movement, you must know that majority of your country's population lives under poverty. 60% of the unemployed are youth. It's like a country in war. This is what our liberation cause should continue to fight for. You must know that when you are activists, your duty is to liberate your people who are black in this country in the main. We call them black in particular, Africans in particular, and blacks in general. That is what our revolution has always been about. That we must liberate Africans in particular and blacks in general. The two who suffered from transatlantic slave trade, from colonialism, from apartheid, have not been liberated totally in this country. So the issues you are suffering from, which is unequal and uneven education system, which is what the comrade of SASCO was talking about. The attempt of the Bella Bill is to redress the imbalances of the past in the education system in this country. It needs COSAS to fight for the total adoption of the Bella Bill. Clause 4 and 5, comrades, are talking about exactly what the Bella Bill is all about. There must be no review, COSAS, of clause 4 and clause 5 of the Bella Bill. We will invite you, comrades, in the streets, and we've said this thing in our Congress. And this thing we've agreed with the President of the Youth League, by the way, Tiam, that maybe our term of office will not finish it. That you cannot kill an idea whose time has come. Education, comrades, is an instrument of liberation, and it's an instrument for economic freedom. We need learners in our movement who have joined our movement to preoccupy themselves with being the best amongst the rest, comrades. I was telling one of our comrades here that I come from a quintile wine school when I was at your age. Quintile wine school in a very dusty town called Umtata there. But I did everything in my power. I was an activist even at school. Everything in my power to pass with merit. I passed with merit. We want all of you to pass with distinctions, comrades. Meritocracy should be inculcated in the young activist. Never stop to be an activist because you are told that you are going to fail. Activists are achievers. It is important, comrades, that we must tell you it's not going to be an easy journey.
It's not going to be an easy journey, comrades, because what we call the orthodox neoliberal offensive is the dominant ideas in our own societies. The orthodox neoliberal ideas are dominant, but they are providing false solutions to our problems. And I'm saying, therefore, it's upon you who are young activists at the COSAS level, comrades, that the total liberation of this country must be fought alongside with you, and you must lead it even if we are removed in this leadership as the Youth League. We have said to the ANC that the ANC-led GNU, the GNU is not led by any other political party but the ANC, must be supported by all and sundry. But we must, all of us as progressives, ensure that the ANC-led GNU delivers the breakfast that the comrade of the Young Communist League was talking about to learners in schools. It must deliver, comrades, to you what we know and conceptualize as a national school nutrition program. And it must deliver and ensure that that which is a national school nutrition program also talks to what we call SME development and development of agricultural schemes in our communities, which are led by our mothers. It's important, comrades, that the production of our books, particularly the curriculum content, correctly as the DSU of SASCO was saying, the curriculum content that you are taught at school must not teach you about the infant republic. It must teach you about Nelson Mandela and O.R. Tambo, who are the liberation leaders. But Secretary General of the ANC, that will not happen so long as we are giving away content development of our curriculum to NESPAS, which is a Pure Bond sponsored company. It's important, comrades, that we must guard, therefore, the class character, the political ideological direction of the GNU. It needs you, comrades, of COSAS, to carry the baton in SASCO, in the Young Communist League, and here in the Youth League. So that it is important that the youth activism in this country is not led by cowards and people who can sell their people for position. The South African Revolution must not abort. Thank you very much, comrades. The Youth League wishes COSAS a very successful Congress. Thank you very much.
Viva PYA, viva! Viva!
Viva to the PYA, viva! Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Now, comrades, when the PYA is rising like that, we have to give recognition that our PYA is coming back, and it's coming back full force. We just need to put COSAS on board, which is what we are doing here today. Thank you very much, Comrade SG, for this great remark that you've made. You would have raised your hand. That was going to be a correct procedure. Yes, you can sit down. You would have raised your hand. That is going to be a correct procedure. Let's just get into the norm of raising hands. You can't just stand and speak whilst I'm speaking, or anyone is speaking for that matter. Thank you. Now you can raise your hand anytime you want to say something that you will then note you. We are then going to proceed, comrades, with the opening address by the African National Congress. But we can't have this, comrades. What is going on with people that are moving in and out here? We can't have this whilst the SG has to address. When the SG addresses, we all sit down and we listen. If you want to go to the loo, go to the loo, come back before the SG addresses. You are not going to be able to stand and do your own things whilst the SG of the ANC is addressing us. We are talking about the leader of the entire MTM here. So we must be able to have respect for such authority. Now let's welcome the SG comrades who is going to give us an opening address of this conference with a revolutionary song, comrades.
Does this work? Amanda, awethu, Mata, each one, row, young lions, row. No, you should make that noise when I say each one. Row is fine, but each one, teach one. Each one. Yeah. Thank you very much, comrades, chairperson of the session, the convener of the task team of COSAS, members of the COSAS National Congress task team, the South African Democratic Teachers Union leadership, represented here by the chapter of the youth, the Deputy Minister of Basic Education, and all delegates and distinguished guests. Comrades, good afternoon. It is a great honor today. We join you for the 20th National Congress of COSAS, a culmination of a process that has been challenging but also learning curve for those charged with the task of convening this Congress. We are pleased that the National Congress preparatory team executed its mandate diligently, working together with our organizing team.
This Congress, comrades, is not just about electing leadership, but more importantly, it's about attending to the challenges facing learners at school. We know that as you do so, this will inevitably also serve as a learning platform to prepare you to become better leaders of tomorrow, in whose capable hands we will entrust the legacy of our revolutionary movement and our country. It is therefore fitting that the theme of this Congress is defending the decorum, values, principles, and hegemony of COSAS. COSAS has a rich and proud history as an integral part of the mass democratic movement. This is the organization of Ephraim Mukhana, the first president of the Congress of South African Students. This is the organization that laid the base from 1976 upwards, when COSAS was born, to the formation of many important mass democratic formations in the country. And you have some of the living ancestors like Lulu Johnson. I hope if you have time, he do has time, he will also come and grace this conference. Lulu Johnson was arrested when he was young. He spent most of his youth in jail as the president of South African Students. You have come to Mangaung, the revolutionary place where COSAS, under the leadership of the likes of White Mohapi, led COSAS as its president from here in Mangaung. Here in Mangaung and in the Free State, you are in the home of Sipho Mutsi, who was brutally killed by the apartheid regime in Odendalsrus, and we went to bury him there. This is the home of COSAS. This is the province of COSAS. COSAS led struggles of the youth when they were not fashionable. You are not in the wrong place, comrades. You are in the right place. You are COSAS when I look at you in the face. You are COSAS when I look at you how you smile. You are COSAS when I look at you how you walk. There's no confusion in my mind. You must not be confused by people who have served and have had their time to lead. And they now want to give you leadership that is out of school. We are not going to accept COSAS that is led by people who are not at school. We want the leadership of COSAS to come from your ranks, from learners, from students. When you ask a president of COSAS, where do you come from? No, I'm on internet with UNISA. No, we want a learner, a student at school who lead militant student struggles. We have led COSAS. We have led COSAS. We led COSAS. When I went to jail, let me strike a personal note here in this province, in Botswana. I was 14 years old. And you are above that age, at your age. There is a prison here, next to where some criminal called Bester had a jail running away from it called Grootvlei prison. We never let COSAS being elders. We've always understood the dynamic relationship between the students in the school premises and outside, that when you leave the school premises, you join the Youth Congress. You don't have to finish, you join it. That's why COSAS formed the UDF. COSAS formed the Congress of South African Trade Unions. COSAS, when it was banned, it is COSAS that led youth struggles in our country, in the youth movement, up until its unbanning. COSAS students swelled the ranks of the youth movement in South Africa. So you are in the right place, comrades. But you are students of a special type because you've got to learn politics whilst you are still at school and lead the student struggles. What did COSAS lead? COSAS led the struggle for anti-corporal punishment in the schools, sexual harassment in the schools, led the struggle for compulsory free education. That was COSAS. Today, we talk about sanitary towels, one laptop, one cellular phone. It's a new struggle. The Bella Bill speaks to exactly what COSAS came to represent over the years, to realize our freedom through ascendancy to political power. Bella Bill has been signed by the President and it will be implemented. So, will be implemented in a government of national unity. This government of national unity, comrades, is a tactical intervention. Tactical intervention ikasuthu akitsibile asitsiba. Baru chechela morawa subali akunkamali. So what it means is that we have been shown flames by the voters, but we are not out. We have been given an opportunity which we characterize as suffering a setback. But in that setback, it enabled us to advance the NDR. What is the NDR? The NDR is the Bella Bill. The NDR is NHI. The NDR is about industrialization of this economy, radically so. That is the NDR we are pursuing. But that NDR cannot be fully pursued if we don't safeguard and win political power. And what is political power? Political power is the continued leadership of the ANC in government in order to do all these things I'm talking about. Without political power, you will be sent back 20 years backward. And that is why Ramaphosa, as our president, is leading that government of national unity, which is not a melting pot in itself. We are told that we've got better choices on the table. We say, in terms of those choices and options we've got, what do they represent? Because GNU is open-ended, can be joined by everybody. In its very nature, coalition and GNU governments are constituted not by ideological friends or political parties that are ideologically aligned. They are constituted by rivals. The fact of the matter is that in South Africa, we are in a GNU supply and confidence government with the ANC as the largest party. Even if the DA can walk tomorrow, government won't collapse. Now, revolutionaries and students must have a proper grasp of what is the revolution that is being sold out and a revolution that is being safeguarded. Proper analysis. And I'm not going to give you today. You don't have to shout from the rooftops and of inadequate political, ideological analysis and shout at leaders and insult leaders without proper analysis. You must give answers. Nobody's stopping you to think. You don't need our permission to think, by the way. Don't apologize for thinking. Don't apologize for thinking and shaping the NDR and making submissions. What is at the core of the agenda of the youth in this country today that must be championed by the youth? The Youth League has got an agenda and a program of action that it is leading. We have said to them, don't apologize. But we will never support a youth that is masquerading as ill-disciplined, disrespectful, and equate that to radicalism. Because we only support the youth that is guided by progressive militancy. If you say to us, like Ngudle say, that there is an agenda of neoliberalism, we too are against neoliberalism. We must push it back. We are not for that as the African National Congress. But you've got a bigger task to grapple with concept and understanding where we are. But we are not going to achieve anything by insulting leadership. It has happened in the past. You see, I saw a comrade of the Free State welcoming us into this beautiful province. And then he attacks the secretary of the ANC, Dibulele. What makes it difficult for you to go to the ANC office and meet with the ANC and tell them that they must support COSAS? ANC must support COSAS. And we want a stronger COSAS. We don't want COSAS that becomes puppets of leaders. We want a COSAS that will exist on its own. You are here as students under very difficult circumstances. You have come here, comrades, I've seen you, you are very disciplined. Probably some of you did not eat. And probably some of you ate very late. And probably some of you come from far and will be traveling very far. Do not forget why you are here. You came here to reclaim your organization, COSAS. You must have leadership of COSAS that must lead this important organization. You must lead the youth of our country in the school premises and fight gangsterism and fight for transformation of education. The teachers, SADU, have supported you to hold this Congress. The ANC have supported you. We have not supported you because we want to clone you, to own you. Tomorrow when Mbalula wants to become a big thing in the ANC, he must have his spokesperson, COSAS, singing about Mbalula. We don't want that. You must lead the youth struggles where you are. You must bring that agenda to the ANC and say, Comrade SG, President and whoever, this is what as the Congress of South African Students we want. That Ministry of Basic Education, led by Warube, faneka ishugumise COSAS. Don't lament, comrades. You have an organization. You must lead from the front. We will support you. You must lead from the front, but you can't lead without leadership. If you elect leadership that is leaderless, that is not leadership inspired, a youth leader must be a youth leader. Skala kheta ba etapili because le kheta di chomi. Because Mbalula o tlile le motho wa mo pogotetse mo pogotong a re mo khetheng. Abanye ba niniki mali idlani mali ni qhubeke le organization. They want to corrupt you. They want to corrupt you, but they will never give you the right politics. You too are inspired by Ephraim Mukhale. You are inspired by Lulu Johnson. You are inspired by different generations of COSAS that have delivered freedom. You will deliver economic freedom in your lifetime through your own ideas. What the ANC wants from COSAS is an organization that is alive, It's an organization that leads student struggles. It's an organization that is at the center. When students ask politics, they must ask them from COSAS. You are going to lead the establishment of SRCs, whatever you call them at high school. You will be there in those struggles. You will be there in the student parent governing bodies. You will be there. You must be there and provide leadership as COSAS. So, comrades, don't be confused by the politiki tabo mabina utsulo. But baratan ditulo and all of that. We've got an appointment today from this Congress. We've got an appointment. The ANC will work with you in empowering your leadership with political education. We will give you free politics so that you can analyze on your own. You don't think politics is what is said by Mbalula and you pick up politics in the lips of other leaders. You internalize revolutionary theory, understand it properly, and then apply it in practice in terms of what? You don't cram books and think you know politics. Lenin said, no, that's not politics. Politics is what you do without quoting Lenin. One good well, we one understand. Politics is about speaking your mind without referring to Marx. Anka bulela Marxism ulilunam. Kaubani ki ruteile anyane ka Marxism. Litlotsa malere dai Grootman utese ule. Umuntwile unabulela yi. Maralang kukwel. You must be able to interpret situations and analyze them independently without referring to a textbook. More revolutioning, which we must study them. The youth must learn. And when you have learned politics and theory and all of that, you don't become a braggart about it. But it's a guide to practice. You don't study politics and the theory of the revolution as dogma, but a guide to practice. It is something that you use to guide you in terms of what direction you need to take. How do you go about? When you've got to go about this local area called Mangaung, Bloemfontein, and all of that, where you are, you're going to use a navigation called GPS. How you're going to go to the next street to the other, it assists you to understand the place. Theory does that. When somebody comes and confuses you and say that GNU is a strategic, important intervention and it's a sellout position, you must be able to apply your mind. Is this comrade correct? On your own, independently. You don't need our permission. You know, comrades, the ANC, let me start in 1990, not long time ago, just to share this briefly with you. In 1990, the ANC came from exile, our leaders, others were in the underground. Our leaders, some of them were in jail. The ANC constituted what is called an internal leadership corps. First, it was led by Walter Sisulu. And then Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and all of them later on came back, and an ANC leadership was elected. And other comrades were still running in the country. And the first thing we did in the country was the signing of the minute that was signed early hours of the morning, which was called the Groteskir Minute. And that Groteskir Minute said, we suspend the armed struggle. You can imagine, we were mad because at your age, we were mad not because we were confused that the armed struggle was a tactical intervention. We were mad because we thought that we'll get to Pretoria with guns and bazookas and remove the apartheid regime with what is called an armed seizure of power. Meaning, when you were coming to Bloom this morning, you would have seen all the trucks of the army. We wanted to get to Pretoria with bazookas and AK-47 and install the flag of the ANC black, green and gold in the union buildings. That's what we wanted. And then they came, they said, that armed struggle is suspended. We were mad. The youth were mad. The challenge for the youth movement at that time, how do we harness these militants who were led by Peter Mokaba, our president then of the youth, South African Youth Congress? We said, no, our leadership is selling out. How can they suspend the armed struggle? We have had several meetings with the ANC leadership, and they explained to us why it was important to take that position. And that position in itself did not mean the suspension of the armed struggle, the end of struggle in itself. But we said time and space. Is it right? Because the people who are fighting have not disarmed. But we said we suspended the armed struggle, we did not suspend the underground. That is why comrades like Pravin Gordon, Mac Maharaj, Spiwe Nyanda and them were arrested for a bigger operation that was called Operation Vula. Because when we were talking to the Boers, Oliver Tambo and military high command implemented a bigger operation that prepared to bring arms inside the country and at the same time use the opportunity of the political lull to build the underground. So many arms entered the country, preparing for an armed seizure of power. We didn't know that. We were just mad about the fact that the armed struggle is suspended. That was the first thing that was done. The second thing that was done by our leadership was strategic perspective that defined the process towards the transition to what is called a negotiated political settlement. Joe Slovo, the General Secretary of the Communist Party then, led this document in terms of the strategic perspective. And that is what it did, Comrade Joe Slovo, to implement a process towards transition. There was this document. All of us, Youth League, communists, everybody, even in the ANC, NEC, we had a heated discussion about the transition. And yet there was COSAS on the other side. After the Groteskir minute, we agreed that we'll start negotiations. The negotiations were in full swing. We started with the armed struggle, and then when we went to a conference in Durban, there was the sanctions. Again, when we got to that conference, we were still mad. We said, now you have suspended the armed struggle, now you want us to suspend sanctions. Thabo Mbeki addressed that conference for an hour, convincing the whole conference, even risking not to be elected because he could be said that he was a sellout, and said, comrades, if we don't take this tactical initiative, it will be imposed on us. Let's suspend the sanctions. Whether we like it or not, we have gained enough ground. The process we are in is irreversible. So let's take an initiative to suspend, either than when the sanctions will be suspended, not by us, but by the people who support us and say, no, it is enough. The conference eventually was persuaded and agreed. It was 3:00 in the morning at Durban, Westville, ANC conference, the first conference inside the country. The ANC agreed. We then agreed on the framework towards transition as well. And then we said, okay, when the negotiations resume, we want nothing but modalities of the transference of power. And that was the TRC and the date for the elections. And they killed Chris Hani because they wanted to reverse the irreversible. Chris Hani died. In the midst of that, we had COSAS, we had the switch on and off of the negotiations, but we intensified the mass struggle. It never stopped, the mass struggle. When Chris Hani died, they thought that it will stop negotiations and everything else. And Sibuyele 13. They wanted this South Africa to be turned into a civil war. Nelson Mandela and the leadership of the African National Congress never wavered. They said, Chris Hani is not dying in vain. We are proceeding with the struggle. Let us intensify mass mobilization. Let us demand that the immediate announcement of the date of the election. With the death of Chris Hani, the 27th of April was born. Because the leadership of the ANC had a foresight that where we are going to ensuring that we secure political power. And that's what we did. And that's what the leadership did. Now, comrades, once we got into power, we got into a transitional mechanism of a GNU, which was temporary. The National Party did not stay the course there. They left. The first Minister of Finance was Derek Keys, if I'm not mistaken. And then we had two deputy presidents, Thabo Mbeki as well as de Klerk. Because the ANC was confident of itself. It was for the first time for us to come into power, and we never had any experience of governments that the National Party and everybody had. And when we got there, we found that this country was bankrupt. We found that South Africa was bankrupt, and then it was facing, in economic terms, what was called a death trap. And that's why COSATU and Communist Party and everybody, they were also mad about gear. Fine, we had the RDP. On the other hand, today they call it 1996 class project. The party and COSATU. And then they call it a neoliberal intervention of the IMF and the World Bank. But let me tell you what happened. We fought. We were on the other side as the Youth League, defending gear. And then we said, gear is not cast in stone. It helped us to transition somewhere. What was it? We had the RDP because we are the Father Christmas in this country. We went to the people of this country, go and read the RDPs there on Google. We said we'll give people houses, we'll give them everything, and then we finish by free. We said we'll give you everything for free. Water for free, basic needs for free. RDP. And then we had the minister of RDP in Mandela's office, J. Naidu, who only had his briefcase, but didn't have money to finance the RDP. So we had to think about where are we going to get financial resources to fund the reconstruction and development program. I guess we still have that debate even today, even about the state assets and many other things that are happening now in our country. But what I'm trying to demonstrate with this brief history is that we have never been populist as an organization, and we will never be. These political parties, Zonom Kokwana, Ezivelayo, that is why they will not sustain themselves, because they are formed for a purpose. And that purpose, once it fades away, people have got no answers. ANC was formed because of the National Democratic Revolution. And you comrades need to study that, the NDR. What is the NDR? So that we are at par to understand it. So that's why this ANC, it will die, the ANC, if ever we don't get organized. Coming together today, we are implementing the Nelson Mandela plan. Mandela, in terms of organizing, in the ANC had a grand plan as the organizer, 5 Mandela plan, which focused on sectors. Today we're talking to the student movement. Our revolution, for it to succeed and to be defended, including political power and to transition to economic freedom, needs the youth. It needs you. That's why when the campuses are lost to rivals, we get worried. Now SASCO is winning campuses. We are very happy. They are winning campuses at the wrong time. When we wanted them to win at the right time, we lost them. Because of what? NSFAS. Why is the youth quiet when NSFAS is misusing funds of the students? You must not be quiet. You must not be quiet when you see wrong things in terms of policy implementation. Because maybe we can be sometimes comfortable where we are as political leadership and not see the wrongs. But they say it was NSFAS. But equally, there is a problem of student leadership. I'm concluding now. Student leadership is very important. Ethics, ethical conduct. If SASCO is not going to be different from abanye abonom kokwana, they are the same. Our leadership position in the campuses will be cyclical. This year we are next year a chance yabai. Laba baphumile because they are not leading the students in terms of their interest. The first thing when we get into leadership of the students, we want to put our fingers in the cookie jar. SRC budget. Ziyabuya. We are about Ziyabuya lapa SRC street bash. Student bash. That's what is going to happen. And thereafter, we don't lead the student struggles. When the students come from you, COSAS, they go to the campuses. They are not assisted there by their SRCs. The SRCs are very busy with many other things. So they end up not to be a difference between SASCO and others. There is only one campus where I know SASCO has been a leader there for a very long time, is Wits University. It's only last year where we lost, but they are back in bigger numbers. But why do we lose campuses? There's no difference. It's a question of student leadership. There must be a difference, comrades, between us and our ideas and those who are opposing us and those that we are opposed to. There must be a difference. It can't be one and the same thing. That the person who's wearing a SASCO t-shirt at the campus and the other one who's wearing a red t-shirt is one and the same thing. It can't be. There must be a difference there. So, this must be led by a student movement, the Youth League, and everybody else in providing leadership to the students. And this is what we need to do. Comrades, COSAS has done a lot of things for the youth. We are delighted as the ANC that we have gathered in this manner. And I want to thank the outgoing interim task team. And I want us to give these comrades a good round of applause for the work that they did. When we came in after the national conference of the ANC, the first task on the table was the state of COSAS. There was no COSAS leadership. And I know some of the comrades who were leading COSAS then, Botunga and all of that. And then, the national organizer, Chatlas, or Datlas. Datlas Kingwenya Yakayo. In the trenches of COSAS. These comrades, they are now graduating into the ranks of the Youth League. And in their time, they expressed themselves in their militancy in leading the student struggles. They might have not been perfect in what they did, but when they were given an opportunity, they played their part. That we are not proud of that we did. There's nobody who's perfect. Unless if, where now you have left in your entire life, I leading from the church. So in the church, no mistakes are allowed. So, yeah, comrades have committed. And I want to say in front of you and to those comrades that the ANC appreciate their leadership and they will grow in the ranks of the ANC and in the Youth League as they graduate. And we assembled this team of comrades and we brought them together. And when we brought them together, these comrades, you know, I think this is political talent. It's a gem. You know, there are old songs that you wouldn't know in Ama 2000. But throwing a good love away, you don't know it now, you'll know it someday. So when I look at this gem, I said, this is the good love. Leadership, here is the leadership. So these were good comrades in the ranks of COSAS, that we gave them a responsibility to lead, not to micromanage them, not to run them. And some of the comrades did not want this to happen. And we had to put our foot down. I'm happy today, for the first time after a long time, we can come to a COSAS conference. But face. At least you know what you want your leaders, but do it peacefully and decently. You don't have to fight for leadership. You are still young to fight for leadership. Don't be like ANC, people who fight who must lead. This conference is peaceful. We are one Italian. There's somebody who prayed here. And I'm happy that because we will give a good report, Comrade Mdu, to the ANC. I know you comrades come from far. Some of you, we had to get, most of you, permission from your parents to be here. And your parents expect you to land and go back home safe. It has not been easy to bring this conference together. And one comrade of SASCO, the deputy SG of SASCO, have spoken here and he have said that this is an important foundation. This is the beginning. That you will now have a leadership of COSAS, not interim. You know, when we came here, there were two leaders. Others were this side, others were this side. Babeta face. Bantana lili tunya. And then we had to disband all of that. And then start afresh. And from where we have started, we are not saying it's perfect, but this is in the right direction. It's in the right direction. And in your ranks, for the first time, who said that Batuba COSAS Abapas? We got somebody who got many distinctions here. 9 distinctions. Our convener here, Khesha. 9 distinctions. Aruna nerlidi hold the corp. 9 distinctions. We never failed apartheid Bantu education. Now you are studying to a better education. And the Secretary-General of the Youth League was speaking here. And you are going to fight to perfect that education with us and transform it for the better. And we need your ideas. And so we wish you well, comrades, in this work. It has not been easy. It worries us when you can't agree, because most of you, probably you have never been exposed to organization and all of that, but sometimes you must accept guidance and leadership. Your conduct has been impressive. I'm not patronizing you. It's been impressive and orderly, but it does not mean you must not debate issues. You must debate issues. and you must debate them orderly. And I'm giving you this guarantee. The ANC does not have a choice here in this conference who you must elect. Nobody must say, Naki mutu wa Mbalula, ke rumilwe ke Mbalula or lekgete. Umaka, it's a lie. Those who are dropping the name of leadership are doing so in vain. And I'm here speaking on behalf of the ANC. Unali batho ba ratang ho buela ANC, ba ipelle go pele ka maemo, and they are not mandated. The only person who's mandated by conference to speak on behalf of the ANC is me. And Hakim Zege le ampona. Ki kgethilwe le le teng. Ba ne le le siko le bone TV. Or Mbaksu kene. Tswere ANC. And today, libale bane ba sanya, ki libale bane ba sampati ki aba leader. And keep a leader properly by listening to them. I don't listen to anarchy. I listen to proper people. And where we found that people are busy in this conference with their shenanigans, and we have put our scorpions deep in this conference. We know some of the leaders here who all of a sudden have got money, but these students have slept here with hunger. They were not given food. But the chelete ya ureka bana ba tlile conference ba na le yona iteng chelete. Chelete ya bogodu, chelete ya ditsotsi yona iteng. O tlo reka bana mo. Bana and the youth have come from far. Ba tlile conference. About the chelete if bana le yona batho ba aba intshe rekele bana dijo. Aba intshe. Baka ba intshe ka mukunyata because aba intshe yona ba ifa ba hamba ba nga ba ikre. This conference, comrades, is very small for me, let me tell you. I'm used to running conference. You are 1,000 here. These thugs who are doing wrong things here, I'll solve them. And if there is shortage of money, I'm going to give you from the ANC now. I'm going to give you. I'm going to give Mdu Manana 500,000 to buy you food. You will never have problems. You must sort out your delegation, sort out everything. Tomorrow you must go home. With the leadership elected here. These thugs who are running around here with money and all of them, Kitoba Solva, when I resolve them. Because when we wanted money for this conference, they did not come and give money for COSAS conference to see. All of a sudden, when you put in the they've got money. They don't have money. They don't have money to make COSAS to be stronger. They want their puppets. We don't want puppets here, we want the youth. So comrades, feel free. Do what you are supposed to do. Skavalawara. And then be committed and disciplined to this conference. When it is done, we will take the report to the National Executive Committee. We will invite you, those who will be elected, to come and present your plan to the ANC, to President Ramaphosa and the collective, that now, from Mangaung, The Congress of South African Students is awake. We have come here to awaken. We have come here and this is what you are. Thank you very much, comrades, and good luck in your declaration. Family and COSAS, family. Each one. Abanda. Kirwata. Each one. Yamrasa. Each one. Yamrasa. Kerla Jurumkar. Yamrasa. Kerla Kilawan. Marumo.